Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Searching for a suspect. Police are trying to find the person who crashed into a Raleigh business overnight, where officers have centered their search this morning.
And it was definitely a cool and dreary Sunday. All that changes today as our front moves out. I'll show you when the sunshine begins to break out where you are.
Plus, music's biggest stars. It was a big night for artists at the MTV Video Music Awards. The big wins and the moments that everyone is talking about. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock on your Monday morning, and what we're talking about is this nice stretch of fall-like weather that we are going to have for the week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Levengill. Yeah, people getting prepared, drinking their pumpkin spice lattes, apple cider to feel like fall out there, Elizabeth. But I got to say, that camera behind you, Lake Gaston, that looks awesome.
Wow. Isn't this great? So we've got this moon shining through some clouds, and it's clear here closer to the horizon. So we're about to see more sunshine. When the sun comes up, we're going to have gorgeous sunrise views all across the viewing area. It'll stay a little cloudier in our eastern counties a little bit longer. Right now it is 59 in the Triangle with a dew point of 56. That's a nice low dew point. So already we've started to see our dew points dropping. So it feels real comfortable out there. Lots of temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, still some 60s in our eastern counties. Those temperatures may drop a little bit more between now and sunrise. So we started off pretty cloudy this morning, but we're going to see those clouds continuing to diminish with lots of sunshine this afternoon. But our temperatures remain cool, even with sunshine. Highs will only be in the mid 70s for this afternoon. I'll show you how many more days we'll see highs below normal coming up. Chris?
And Elizabeth, our top story in the WRAL traffic centers, road work that's going to start in about 3 hours in Garner. This is NC 50 at Umstead Lane, the US 70 West on-ramp, the loop there, and Hilltop Avenue. This is road work that, again, starts at 9. Closures in place until early November. If road names aren't your thing, let's give you some landmarks and zoom in. You see Garner Baseball is right there, the Garner Fire Department right here. So it's in that general vicinity. Prepare to take some detours as we go through the next couple months.
All right, thank you, Chris. Let's get back to that breaking news story. A Raleigh business is clearing up this morning, and that's because a car crashed into it overnight. This happened at Carolina Kettle on Hillsborough Street, and that's where Allie Cadlebar has been all morning long on the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Allie, it's still very active out there. You can see the tape behind you, but you also talked with the owners.
Chris, we were here when the owners showed up to find this gaping hole in their business. Now, the car crashed through the wall, kept going through Carolina Kettle, and hit the business behind it, Golf Performance. Listen to what they know about the extent of the damage so far.
Knocked off a couple mirrors. The whole wall's bowed in about 6 inches or so. So just some building damage there.
Maybe just some displays and some product, but yeah, they missed the office, so hopefully everything in there is fine.
Yeah, a couple days for a small business, it's a challenge. Police say the car crashed into the building off of Hillsborough Street around 12:30 a.m. When they got there, the driver wasn't inside. Witnesses told police that 2 people fled the scene. Police searched the area, but they have not found the people involved in this crash. We're working to find out if anybody's been found or arrested, what led up to this crash, and the impact, long-term impact it's going to have on the businesses here. We know that they are closed today. Reporting live in Raleigh, Allie Cadlebar, WRAL News.
And happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we're following some breaking news from overseas. I want to take you back to this scene in Jerusalem this morning. 2 suspected gunmen opened fire on a bus stop. They pulled up along a highway, and you can see the scene right now of when it actually happened, where they opened fire on a bus stop, killing at least 5 people, injuring several others. I want to take you now to live pictures of that bus stop where this scene happened. You can see first responders and emergency personnel are still cleaning up that area again. 5 people were killed, several others injured, taken to the hospital. We're working to figure out exactly how this happened and whether or not this was a terrorist attack. This is something we'll continue to monitor here in the WRAL Live Center, bringing any new developments as they come into our newsroom.
Given how volatile things are in that area there, we'll be watching that. Thank you, Ken. Law enforcement just outside our area is looking for a young child with disabilities this morning. The Randolph County Sheriff's Office says a nonverbal 7-year-old wandered off yesterday. I want to show you a picture of Liam King. Your phone may have sent you a notification about his disappearance. He was last seen in Asheboro. He was wearing a light blue and black hoodie along with black sweatpants. And deputies say he might run off if you try to approach him. So you can call 911 if you do see him.
Happening today, state election leaders are trying to come up with a plan to fix incomplete voter registration records. This comes after a lengthy lawsuit that challenged the validity of the ballots. WRAL's Laura Levine is live now to explain. Laura, today's meeting will focus on making sure that this doesn't happen again.
Election officials, Renee, will meet here later this morning to discuss the new proposed guidelines. They're working on contacting voters, and they're going to send them a letter in the mail right now. We know after this meeting to really direct them on the next steps on how to update their records here online. All of this comes after the state was sued by the U.S. Justice Department, which questioned the registrations of about 200,000 voters in the state. The state elections board and the DOJ have agreed on ways so that those voters can still cast a ballot. About 81,000 voter records were missing some ID information. They'll have to vote with provisional ballots if their registrations aren't updated before the election. Another 98,000 have information that doesn't match other state or federal records. They'll be able to vote with regular ballots if elections officials approve the new guidance today. The State Board of Elections will hold this in-person meeting here at the Dobbs building behind me at 9 a.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Laura, thanks. Also happening today, Wake County commissioners are meeting to talk about the impact of federal spending cuts today, specifically on programs like Medicare and SNAP. The president's spending plan changed the work requirements for people on Medicaid and puts more of the costs from SNAP on a state and county level. The county expects costs for SNAP to increase by as much as $4 million a year. Wake commissioners meet this afternoon for a work session to talk about the impacts.
Just a heads up to you folks in Tarboro, there's a public meeting tonight about putting in a data center and an energy storage facility. Now, this would be built on 52 acres along Anaconda Road and McNair Road. The North Carolina-based company Energy Storage Solutions is behind this project, and tonight's meeting starts at 7 p.m. This topic is one of the first items on the agenda.
A person had to be rescued after getting trapped in their car after a crash in Raleigh. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows the scene last night near Mitchell Mill and Lewisburg Roads. 2 cars crashed. The people involved only had minor injuries.
New this morning, State Highway Patrol says a person killed in a crash on I-40 last month was trying to cross the interstate. Troopers say that John Vaccaro was that person a vehicle hit on the interstate. And this wasn't too far from the Smithfield-Goldsboro exit. Vaccaro died from his injuries, and Highway Patrol doesn't plan to file charges in this case.
People in Wayne County are stepping up to help the people forced out of their homes after this massive fire last week. An apartment building at the Adair Place complex was destroyed. 4 people were sent to the hospital. 50 people were displaced. Volunteers from Community Churches United of Rosewood are collecting clothes, food, supplies, and toys for people affected. Within hours of posting a flyer to the Community Churches Facebook page, they gathered enough items to fill an entire room at Rosewood First Baptist Church.
Rosewood is a very small community, but community, and we take care of our own.
You get in God's presence is that you just see what he can take and make something big out of something so small. Yeah. Just a little bit of faith.
The group tells us they will continue collecting donations and offering assistance in any way they can.
Your time is 6:08 this morning. The first Sunday night football game of the new NFL season was filled with intense action. The Buffalo Bills were down 35-20 with 4 minutes left in the game against the Baltimore Ravens. And then, look at that. The Bills went and hit them with a plot twist for an incredible comeback. Quarterback Josh Allen helped the Bills put up 2 touchdowns in the final minutes, and then he helped set up kicker Matt Prater for a 32-yard field goal right there as the clock hit 0. Bills win 41-40. The Carolina Panthers, however, well, their season got off to a rough start. Bryce Young turned the ball over 3 times as the Panthers lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're on the road, 26-10. The team will now turn its attention to its Week 2 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals next week. Oh, and the Steelers won, too, last night in Aaron Rodgers' first regular season game as the team's QB.
NC State football coach Dave Doran is speaking to the media today as the Wolfpack get off to a hot start this season. NC State coming off a victory against Virginia at home over the weekend. They are 2-0. The team is set to square off against Wake Forest this Thursday in Winston-Salem. Duke head coach Manny Diaz will also be speaking to the media today. We'll tell you what the coaches and the players have to say starting in our newscast at 4 p.m.
You know, Renee, Bill Belichick got his first Carolina win this weekend, and the Tar Heels slogged their way to victory Saturday over the Charlotte 49ers, 20-3. Tonight on WRAL News at 6, UNC's big bet on Bill Belichick. Millions of dollars are pouring in. And to figure out where it's all really going, WRAL Investigates is following the football money trail. That's tonight at 6.
The stars were out last night for the MTV Video Music Awards. Artists like Ariana Grande, Sabrina Carpenter, and Mariah Carey celebrating their big moments. But it was pop icon Lady Gaga who took home Artist of the Year, and she thanked her fans during her speech.
Thank you, little monsters, my fans, for always supporting me and always supporting the monster in me.
Gaga fans are little monsters. Still ahead in what's trending, we'll break down some of the other big moments from the VMAs.
All right, your time is 6:10. Grading debate. State leaders are talking about changing how schools are graded. Why they say they want to look at other ways to measure school quality.
And returning to South Korea, workers arrested at a Hyundai plant in Georgia are being sent back to their home country. How the facility was under a criminal investigation before immigration officials got there.
And boy, it was a great day yesterday, but already the clouds are beginning to break up. We're going to see plenty of sunshine this afternoon. I'll let you know if that's really going to warm up our temperatures much coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, that sunrise in progress on some of the cameras here. You can see here at Car Lake, this is going to be a pretty one. Skies are clear in our northern counties. We're still seeing a good bit of cloud cover south and east of the triangle, but it's going to be a nice day today. We'll see increasing sunshine as we head through the day. Roxborough is clear at 55. Actually, Fayetteville is showing up clear at 61. Garner 59, Cary 59 as well. So pretty sunrise in progress there across our area. It should be a really nice day to spend your lunch hour outside. Our humidity has already started to drop. We'll see 71 degrees at lunchtime and a really nice afternoon too. The kids at the bus stop this morning may be cool, but it's going to be even colder tomorrow morning. We'll check that out in just a few minutes. Feeling nice this afternoon with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Chris?
And Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Going to keep an eye on I-40 at Aviation Parkway. And so far, everything is moving pretty smoothly in both directions there on the road. We've got you covered on the road and in the air as well. No major delays across the country. Some storms there in Nebraska and in Kansas, but green all across the way if you've got a flight that's moving out of town. But so far on the roads this Monday morning, things are nice and dry. We'll give the traffic report an A+ for now. Let's keep it that way.
Look, green is good.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Chris. North Carolina education leaders again want to revise how the state grades its schools. The state assigns letter grades to every school every year. A, B, C, D, and F. You know the ones. Well, State Superintendent Mo Green and the State Board of Education now plans to form a task force. And their goal is to put together some recommendations for a new rating system. The grades are the most visible way the state holds schools accountable for student performance, and they're based mostly on test scores. You can read more about this story in the education section of WRAL.com.
South Korea's president says workers detained in a massive raid at a Georgia Hyundai facility will be sent back to the country. 475 people were arrested on Thursday in Elabel, which is just outside of Savannah. This was part of a criminal investigation into alleged unlawful employment at the Hyundai facility there. Most of the detainees are South Korean nationals. The president of South Korea has confirmed that a plane will be chartered to bring them home.
Meanwhile, Renee, federal leaders confirm immigration operations are underway across Massachusetts. Officials say the operations are targeting criminal immigrants without documentation. And this is actually a follow-up to a surge this year that ended in nearly 1,500 arrests. The Trump administration recently sued Boston and several other cities, and the administration claims sanctuary policies are a violation of immigration laws. Boston's mayor is pushing back against new operations.
This federal administration continues to target Boston because we are proof of everything that shows why they are wrong. We are the safest major city in the country. They are attacking our communities in order to try to push forward their own authoritarian agenda.
Mayor Michelle Wu says the city is considering legal action if the operations do in fact violate law.
One of the two victims killed in a deadly shooting at a Minneapolis Catholic school has been laid to rest. Family and friends gathered yesterday for the funeral of 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel. Fletcher was shot and killed when a gunman opened fire through the stained glass windows of the church at Annunciation Catholic School. The funeral was held at the same church. 10-year-old Harper Moisky was also killed. She will be honored in a celebration of life on Sunday.
Happening today, Chanel Jones returns to the anchor desk on the Today Show. On Friday, Jones returned to Studio 1A for an interview with Savannah Guthrie. And this was her first appearance since the loss of her husband to cancer in May. He was 45 years old. In her interview, she opened up about how she's navigating her life now with her 3 children, and she called it a beautiful nightmare.
And what I've told my kids, it's almost like rain can't last forever. And so when the rain comes, in some ways, I've learned to just look up at the rain and let it be a cleansing rain and let it clear the air. And Dr. Alex Miller.
So many of her colleagues just wrapped her with support. You can watch Chanel Jones on the Today Show this morning right here on WRAL.
And so many fans and viewers are wrapping her up in support as well. You know, in that conversation with Savannah, Chanel talked about how she is fighting for joy and that she has people to root for her as she fights for her joy. And so that's what we're doing, rooting for her. 6:18 now. Let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. We're rooting for this fall-like weather, and we get it back this week.
We do. Boy, you know, we had Saturday where it was very summer-like temperatures in the low to mid-90s. It was humid. And then finally yesterday, we just got right back to it with cloudy skies and cool temperatures. Notice the sun here in Durham just starting to light up the horizon early this morning when I think all of us came into work. It was cloudy, and we've really seen some rapid clearing here. And so lots of sunshine as that sun comes up here in Durham. We have a northerly flow, so that's going to keep our temperatures below normal. And all the clouds are sliding eastward, and they may linger in our eastern counties for a bit longer. When we take a look at our next weather maker, we're going to see that front stationary along the coast. Any rain that happens today is likely to be right along the coast. We're going to be nice and dry here as high pressure starts to build in. Here's Futurecast, and you can see that skies are really starting to clear from Raleigh north and west. And by the time we get to lunchtime, most of us should see some sunshine. Fayetteville and Clinton still may be a little cloudy into the early part of the afternoon, but then after that we should see some pretty sunshine. This high pressure system in control of our weather, rotating clockwise, will continue to feed the air in from the north and northeast. That keeps things nice and cool for us, but also dry. That high will help to keep that rain suppressed to the south and southeast. That does also mean that you may need to be watering. We have no rain in our forecast really all the way through the weekend. We're still doing fine. We had such a wet August that, you know, we're just not looking at any real problems. We do have abnormally dry conditions in our northeastern and our southern counties, but for the most part, things are still looking fine. Closer to the coast over the next 6 to 10 days, there's a small chance of above normal precipitation, but it does look dry for a good bit of the country, especially central parts of the country and western North Carolina. Checking our temperatures, feeling good. Notice tomorrow morning may end up being the coolest day of the week at 55 degrees, and then we see a nice warm up. Our temperatures will climb on up into the low 80s as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So really beautiful fall weather. Yeah. All the highs are below normal.
And it's crazy because we were in the 90s the other day. So we'll definitely take that. Ragweed pollen may have you congested, and the road's congested right now, at least at I-87 at Lizard Lick Road. No major issues. It's just kind of the typical conditions that we see this time of morning, and expect it to get even more congested as we get into the 7 o'clock hour. No major delays, though, if you're heading into Raleigh, whether it's from Durham and Chapel Hill, Apex, Garner, Knightdale, or Wake Forest. If and when that changes, we'll let you know on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
All right, thanks, Chris. Your time is 6:20. Kicked out. Several businesses have been asked to leave the Crabtree Valley Mall ahead of renovations. Why some owners say this is a bad time for this to happen.
And default cliff. Millions of student loan borrowers are behind on payments. 5 Under Side explains why so many are suddenly at risk of defaulting on their loans.
And if you ever see a breaking news story, maybe you have video of it, a news tip, or even some severe weather images, you can report those to us by going to WRAL.com/report it. Send your video, your pictures, and tip to our news team.
Some Raleigh business owners are unhappy as Crabtree Valley Mall prepares for a $60 million renovation project. And that's because mall management told about a dozen small businesses that they have around a month to get out. Some told us they had been at the mall for nearly 2 decades, and they feel blindsided by this abrupt end. The decision comes right before the busy season for small businesses.
A lot of these businesses were relying on that income or the potential to make that money in the hottest season of the year. And so when you tell them to go a month before that time, you crush.
Yeah, heading into the fourth quarter, that's big. Mall leadership sent us a statement saying, in part, while this chapter is closing, we are deeply grateful to the partners who have been part of Crabtree's journey. We encourage our guests and the community to continue supporting them beyond our walls.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A big night for music's biggest stars at the MTV Video Music Awards.
All right, let's take a look at what's trending this morning. Big fashion on the red carpet at the 2025 MTV Video Music Awards. K-pop Demon Hunter star Audrey Nuna paid tribute to her character Mira. So in the movie, if you haven't seen it, be surprised if you hadn't, her character wore a sleeping bag to an award show. In a moment of life imitating art, Nuna wore a sleeping bag-inspired outfit. Netflix even shared the photo with a callback caption inspired by the movie. Who else could wear a sleeping bag at the VMAs? And the other actresses were there as well for that movie. But it was just, I don't know. I always think it's so funny when they just lean into the silly.
And lean into their characters is perfect. Very cozy and comfy and worked well. Well, Mariah Carey took the stage as an award winner for the first time at the VMAs. She accepted Michael Jackson Vanguard Award for all of the work that she's done over her career. And when accepting this award, she joked saying, "What in the Sam Hill were you waiting for?" Her first ever VMA.
I think that's the part that really surprised so many people, right? Someone as iconic as Mariah Carey, come on. All right, your time this morning is 6:26. Raleigh crash investigation. Police are looking for the person who drove into a business on Hillsborough Street, where that search stands this morning.
Voter registration issues. State election leaders are discussing what to do about missing or incomplete information on their records. The lawsuit that's driving this conversation.
And skies are clearing across our area this morning. At the bus stop, temperatures close to 60 degrees. We're going to have a very comfortable afternoon. I'll show you how many more days will look like this.
And we do have a look at your winning NC Education lottery numbers. Good luck.